Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're back with Darren at Green Pro Clean Limited, window cleaners in Nottingham, Derbyshire, South Yorkshire and Leicestershire. Do excuse the squinting, I'm sitting up the top of the yard here at the moment and it's glaring sunshine up there, but it's the only place I can find today to get a bit of quiet to be able to make this video. So today I'm actually going to pop my sunglasses on, guys, and it's not because I'm showing off that it's so bloody sunny here, it is because it's hurting my eyes. So today I'm going to talk about my top tips for the hot topic of the month, coronavirus, COVID-19, CO19, and how to weather the storm, because I'm 100% convinced, guys, this is the beginning of it, it's not the end of it. Now, I want to start off before I give you my tips by saying that this is in part a massive infodemic as opposed to an actual pandemic. Those of us old enough to remember SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, can't remember when it was, 2004, 2005, we had a lot less information coming through. It was the nightly news on the TV, or it was if you checked up on the internet, if you actually looked at the internet in those days. These days, with push notifications, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, everything getting shoved to your phone 24/7, there is so much more information being pumped into you. 90% of it false, 10% of it actually factual. So you just be careful the bits you choose to believe, the bits you choose to listen to. So I just wanted to start by saying, guys, that look up the facts on it. Now, I'm going to kick off with my first tip, and my first tip is many of you out there, and I know this because I talk to you day to day on the lead generation business, or you message me up through the forums or through my messenger, and I do just want to say that if you do want to ask me anything, if you do want to talk to me, guys, just ping me up a message on my messenger, on my WhatsApp, on my anywhere, on my email. It don't matter. If I can answer it, if I can help you out with some advice any way I can, more than happy to. So don't be afraid, but many of you that I talk to have financial burdens. You have mortgages, you have van finance, you have credit card debt for systems, equipment that you've bought for the business. And these people, you need to be getting on the phone to these people today, to the mortgage companies, to the banks, etc., to anyone you've got an overdraft with, that kind of jazz. And you need to be talking to them right now. Hi guys, look, you know what's going on with the CO19. I'm a window cleaner. This is going to hurt my business. In the next couple of months, it's going to be a downturn in business for me. I'm not going to be as well off as I should be. What can you do for me? Can I get a payment holiday for 3 months on my mortgage and tack it onto the back end of it? Can I get an extension on my overdraft? Can I get a freeze on interest payments on my credit card, etc.? And ask these people the questions. Excuse the winking eye, I just noticed I'm doing it because of the sun up there. But ask these people the questions. But more importantly, when you are asking the questions, when you are making these calls, keep a log, get a notepad and a pen. Today I phoned Santander Bank about my mortgage, spoke to this person, the call lasted that long. Make a note. Better still, download an app, something like another call recorder, ACR. Download something like that and record the call. Why? Because some of them will say yes. Some of them will say, yeah, okay, look, we know what's going on, we'll help you out. Some of them will outright just say no. And that'll be the end of that. There'll be nothing you can do to sway these people. But in a couple of months, if you're absolutely skint and you're starting to get these notices through, you owe us money, and they start getting to the bullying stage of trying to recoup the cost. Oh, we're going to send the bailiffs around, we're going to take you to court. Well, if they do take you to court, go to court. But do not go all suited and booted in your finest Armanis. Turn up in your work shirt, look like a bloody window cleaner, cap in hand. Well, Judge, 3 months ago, I got in touch with them, telling them of my situation, explaining what was going to happen, asking them for a little bit of clemency. On this date, I spoke to such and such a person. And with that proof, with those records, etc., I will wager there is no judge in the country that's going to find against you. The judge will tell the people, suck it up, add it on to the end of the bill. And the judge has the authority to do that kind of thing. So don't be afraid of it, get on top of it, but talk to them now. Now is the time. 3 months down the road when the bailiffs are banging the door, that's not the time. It's too late. Get on it now, even if it is just for, gathering evidence for a later stage in the business. So that's number one thing you need to do. Get on top of your money. Any outstanding debts, start phoning these people, especially large payments for commercial contracts, etc. Because with offices shutting down, etc., our finance people might not be back for another 4 months. You could have thousands outstanding on your commercial contracts that you might not be seeing for a few months yet. Get on it today before their office shuts down. Get your money in order. That's tip number one. That is an essential tip, guys. That's why I'm doing my serious face over the top of the glasses. I do it here. Here's my serious face. Get on it. Right, so that's step number one. Step number two, think of your elders. Consider your elders. Some of us are elders, not me quite yet, lads, but some of the rest out there are senior citizens. I got a phone call from mother yesterday back home in Jersey. Apparently everybody over the age of 70 is on house arrest. They are on lockdown. They are on this quarantine business. She's talking about, oh, how will I get my groceries? As I pointed out, I've got two worthless brothers back home that can go and fetch them for her. So she's taken care of. She will be taken care of. That's not a problem for me. But on our rounds, we all have those old dears who want to tell you about how wonderful their kids are, how wonderful their grandkids are, and brag left and right about their wonderful families. And these are the type of kids and grandkids that bother to turn up for 2 minutes at Christmas to see how much money Granny's going to give them this year and then jog on. So do the decent thing. Pick up the phone up Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Brown, doesn't even have to be them, could be a Mrs. Patel for all I know. Hello love, it's the window cleaner, it's Darren the window cleaner. Look, I know we've got all this CO19 going on and that, and you know, it's not advisable for being out and about, but I'm just wondering if there's anything you need. I'm passing your way later. Is there anything I can do? Do you need any groceries or anything picking up? Is there anything I can do to help out? Because some of these people, I've said it in other videos, some of these people, you may be their only social interaction for the whole month. And if you're going to be cutting back on getting out and about, going out and seeing the number of people that you normally would in a month, they may not be seeing you for 2 or 3 months. So pick up the phone, have that word with them. And whilst it's the decent thing to do, it's the humane thing to do, it's the civilised thing to do, old boy. Remember the words of Kennedy, and Kennedy, from what I've gathered in later life, was a bit of a tosser. But as he said in one of his most famous speeches, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And as I said, they give it all this, we're all in this together, toss. They're looking after theirs, it's time for you to look after yours. And I'm not just talking about your customers here. On your street, you've probably got neighbours that are senior citizens. That could do with somebody keeping an eye on them, checking in on them, making sure that it's all going all right for them, getting them that pint of milk, you know, the essentials that they may need. So just give that some thought. And it will pay back in dividends. When this is all passed, and grannies love to gossip, when this is all passed and they talk about that lovely window cleaner that went out of his way to get them in some groceries, etc., you'll be amazed how when word gets round, it'll pay off tenfold for you. So it's just worth a little bit of thought. So that's number 2 tip. Number 3, let's get our electronics in order. Let's get our websites in order. Let's get some fresh content up there, some fresh photos, write some fresh content. If you've got time, if you're not out on the tools and you've got the time, get out there, get some fresh content on the website. Even work on your own house, clean the windows on your own house, get your wife to take some photos, get one of your kids to take some photos, and excuse the sniffles, it's not CO19, I'm sitting in a bloody field and I suffer hay fever. I say a field, it's the top of our garden as it happens. Anyway, get some kids to take some photos and get them all out there, get them up on your web page, get them on your Facebook page, write some fresh content for your Instagram. Yeah, we're now taking on new bookings on such and such an estate, etc. Just get to, you know, just keep it ticking over. Let people know that you are still in business. Now, that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is along the lines of tip number 3, but it relates to our equipment, our tools, our vans, our vehicles. When was the last time you had a full strip down, a full breakdown? Get everything out of the van, give it a polish, give it a tune, degrease the chains on your electric reels. You know, make sure that your particulate filters are empty and that there's no crap in them. Totally get all bits of swarf or crud out of your water tanks. Make sure it's all absolutely tickety-boo and ready for when we get back to work. When was the last time you took the leisure battery out of your van, put it on the trickle charge and give it a good thorough proper topping up? So that's my next tip. Now, sorry, quite a lot of big trucks going past today. I do live on a main route going through to one of the ports heading over to Leyte, so it's the goods vehicles moving, which is a good thing because there's actually shortages now of essential medications down here. Supermarkets are running low, certain items are getting rationed already. So yeah, it's quite a serious matter. So where was I? That was number 4 tip, I think it was take care of the mechanical side of your business. Make sure your tools are in good order, give your poles a thorough servicing. And yeah, I'm talking about your WFP poles, lads, so behave. And I'll move on now, moving on, as they say. My next tip up is, I see some chatter on the forums that is worrying me, that is absolutely frightening. And lads are sitting there going, I'm going to send a letter out to my customers about this COVID-19 and how I'm going to manage it moving forward, and how your window cleaner is aware that COVID-19 is going on, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do it. Seriously, don't F about, don't do it. Do not mention the words COVID-19 in any context to yourself whatsoever. Why? Because they sit there and it gets into their head and they start thinking, oh yeah, well, he was telling me that he cleans that primary school up the road there, and then before he comes to my house, and all them little sprogs in there, oh, who knows what they've got. Next thing is cancelled. And not just in the interim, it's cancelled on a permanent basis. If you've got funds behind you and you can afford to be sitting on your jacks at the minute, take a couple of months off, I'd probably suggest you do. But my letter to my customers, my text to my customers would be, dear customer, due to the current climate, we are taking a vacation for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Normal service will be resumed around about May. Words to that effect. But due to the current climate, people are like, oh yeah, well, with the current climate, I can understand why the window cleaner ain't coming out. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas, window cleaner, COVID-19, hang on a minute, oh, he's got that disease. No, the current climate, yeah, it's a bit dodgy out there, isn't it? I wouldn't be going out either. Yeah, no, fair play, mate. You put your feet up, you relax. We'll see you in May or whenever it is. So word it carefully. Wording is everything, absolutely everything. The language that you use, and there's a buzzword out there, oh, the optics aren't good. What it translates is that doesn't look good. It's the same, it doesn't sound good. Oh, I'm worried about a deadly disease, so I'm going to not be coming to your house, or I'm going to be reducing services, or I'm going to give you the option to text me and tell me if you want your windows cleaned or not. No, mate, don't mention the words deadly disease. Don't mention none of that. Word it properly, otherwise it'll do you more harm than good. Now, I'm just going to reposition myself a little. Sorry, I'm wired up to my small mic here at the minute, so it's a bit trickier than usual. And moving on, I've been an advocate for years of Go Cardless. You all know this. You've all heard me go on about it before. You've all heard me tell you to sort it out. So why haven't you? All of the lads out there that are like, oh yeah, no, I only collect cash because I've got tons of it and I ain't giving it none of the tax, man, and all that. Well, you're a numpty, mate. That's all I've got to say about that. In this current climate, notice the wording, in this current climate, Go Cardless would be bang on. Your money would be coming in. People wouldn't be worried about you going around knocking on the door collecting cash. You might be going out there to collect a £20 note off them that they just picked up in from the ATM in some grotty supermarket. Or maybe they're paying you with a couple of fivers they got in their change from the local Chinese takeout delivery boy. You don't know what's on it, mate. Money is dirty, always has been. Money's filthy stuff. A lot of people say, oh, well, I don't want to pay the 1% commission. But think of it like this. If I said to you, look, 1%, you've got a £2 debt list, so give me 20 quid, I'll nip out there and collect it all in for you right now. You wouldn't hesitate, you'd be tripping over yourselves to give me that £20 note. So just get on with it, get it done. Get those tools in place. Communicate with your customers. Any customers that say, oh yeah, look, sorry Daz, not this month. Yeah, no, I'm not comfortable with people coming round at the moment. Don't give it a large, oh, well, I only service regular customers, so you can jog on, mate, don't need your... Be understanding. This is the time. Be understanding. Sit back and say, no problem. I'll tell you what, I'll drop you a text next month to see if the situation's changed. Now, when we are all back to normal a few months down the road in the future, and these people are still giving it that, well, then it's time to sack them off. But just get your housekeeping in order. That's my top tips for the week anyway, guys. My other top tips are, don't go out of the house if you haven't got to, seriously. Keep hand sanitizer in your van. Use it at all times. You touch a door handle, wash your hands, man. Seriously, it's just good hygiene, full stop. But with this about, one of the greatest preventative measures is good old-fashioned soap and water. And as window cleaners, we've all got tons of it in the van, so use some of it. Keep hand washing the van. Keep a bottle of disinfectant spray in the van. Just look after yourselves, because you're going home at the end of the day to your young kids, to your wives, to your loved ones. Some of you I know do have wives that have, or have partners that have, chronic conditions, chronic illnesses. And they're the last people that want to be coming into contact with this sort of thing. So food for thought, boys and girls. My top tips, again, that's my top tips. My last tip is, if you haven't put aside bank to weather the storm, you should have done. I'm not here to say I told you so, but moving forward, when things start getting back to normal, even now, every £10 that comes into your business, you want to put £2 aside for your tax and your national insurance. You want to put at least another £1 aside for maintaining your vehicle and your equipment for when it needs replacing. Say you're doing 300 jobs a month, that's £300 a month you're banking up. That's £3,600 a year towards new equipment, vehicle expenses, etc. It goes a long way to alleviating the pain when those bills do come in. And then you want to be putting aside another couple of pound into a crisis fund until, if your business is worth £3 a month, you want to have 6 months worth of bank behind you. You want to have 18 grand sitting in that bank so that if it does go Pete Tong and we're off the tools for a while, whether it's through the CO19, whether you crossing the street with your water-fed pole and you get hit by the postie in his little red van and you're off work for 6 months, you've got a bank there to weather it. Because trust me, regardless of the insurances, you know, the whatever they call it these days, the tax credits, the dole money that you might be able to get, disability, none of that is going to replace what you've got at the minute. So you want to keep that banking up and have at least 6 months of bank behind you for future reference. Moving forward, get all these things in place now, because this isn't the end. It's not even the beginning. We're just getting started with this. It is going to go on a while. I'm sorry to be the naysayer, the bringer of doom. But you know, Nostradamus used to do this job, so now I'll take over. But anyway, when the CO19 is all done and dusted, we're going to have a couple of years reprieve whilst things recover, and then all of a sudden, guess what? It's going to be some other nasty son of a bitch disease out there that's going to hit you all the same way. So at least by then, hopefully, you'll have paid attention to this video and got your house in order. Guys, I pray you're all safe. I pray you're all well. Any questions, as always, bang them in the box below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, don't matter on this one. I'm really not bothered what you think of this video. But anything I can do to help, let me know. Thanks all for watching. Have a great week. Ciao for now.